Steve, we were outplayed on Saturday. I think this evening we were outclassed.
Out-battled. They had more will to win than us. They won every first and second ball. We scored against the run of play. They could have been 2 up with Johnny making 2 great saves. Nowhere near good enough. The list goes on, Jim. That scoreline has been coming for a long time. And them players, listen, I take all responsibility that I have to. But as I've said in there now, I've got players in there that are looking to move on. And I've told them I'm pulling no punches because we've got 3 games left. But listen, Sudbury could have done that to us because of the way things are going at the minute. I've got players in there that are looking to move on. I've got players in there that I think don't want to be here for other reasons. I've got players there that do want to be here. So I've got a juggling act. Every club has this. But the changing room I had last year is nothing like the changing room I've got in there now. Billericay, they've got some good players. They play with good tempo. Weren't until they got 7 up they played their silky football. What they done, they got in behind us. But when we tell our players to do that, they think it's not football. And I've told them, I've been in non-league football. I haven't been good enough to play pro. I haven't been good enough to be in the academy. But I've played non-league football or been involved for over 20 odd years. So I know how to win games. I know what non-league's all about. But I've got players in there that must think I'm talking a load of rubbish. Don't want to do what we want them to do. You know, Joe, I've got players pulling out of tackles again. I've got players losing easy 50-50s. Not having no desire to throw the body in front of the ball. You know, we can say, yeah, great, we had a bit of play towards the end, but when they got the 7th goal, they sort of like threw the towel in and let us attack them. They must have felt sorry for us. Bitterly disappointed. It's a cup final. And to throw the towel in like that in a cup final is embarrassing. You know, the fans come out in their numbers, they had good support, we had good support. But the writing was on the wall after the first 2 minutes. You know, Johnny's had to make 2 saves because we can't clear a football. You know, we can't actually get involved and make a tackle. So they've just been told in there, and like I said to them, I had a good chat with the chairman a couple of weeks ago, and I felt it might be right for me to, even though I signed a deal, to move on sort of thing and let them have a voice of maybe Barry and Justin so they could secure playoffs, because that's how much the club means to me, that they're successful. And it seemed like we couldn't do anything, or I couldn't do anything with them, because you give them simple instructions and not following them out. Steve, to be fair to him, pointed out a lot of good positives that we've done. So again, it's not just hearsay. I was that close to basically saying we're close to getting the playoffs. They don't seem to be listening to me. Let's get something else on board to try and let's achieve our goal from the start of the season. I've just told him in there now, do you know what? I'm glad Steve talked me out of it. I'm glad I'm still here. because a lot of them, well, I say a lot of them, a few of them players won't be here next year, whether it's by my choice or their choice that they've already made up their mind. I've got Parky, I've got George Bevan, Tony, Whitnell. They wouldn't have thrown the towel in like that, like some of them boys did tonight. So like I say, first 3 months of the season, recruitment was right. Injuries we've had, yes, but it don't excuse what's happened there, mate. They are a good side. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to take anything away from them, but they didn't have to be overly good, Jim, because we backed off them. We let them have the ball. We let them have shots. We didn't close the ball down. We didn't win tackles. So, like I say, very disappointed. Very disappointed.
On a sort of a more technical point, you started with Bradley. Nick didn't start,
yep.
And
Luke Allen didn't start,
and Luke Allen didn't start.
Yep.
Any sort of regrets on your starting lineup?
I don't have regrets, Jim, because if you have regrets, you shouldn't be doing the job in the first place. Have any of them players mentioned warranted a place recently? You know, on performances. You know, some people have to be left out. It could have been any one of maybe 6 or 7. And I chose them. And people will say, yeah, but it's a cup final. At the end of the day, it's one of those. You've got to warrant your place. And I don't feel players have warranted their place. You know, Nathan come off at half time. Shadow of himself in recent times. Idea today was to get the ball wide and get it down and play. But no, we wanted to smash it against the wind to their big centre halves. Our goal come from getting it wide to Luke Bluden, putting it in the box or a shot, and Andre following up. We didn't use the width for the pitch. You know, we didn't get our fullbacks out to exploit them in there. And we got bullied and beat up.
So looking to the future, in particular the next 3 games, and we still have a mathematical chance of getting into the playoffs, although it's not in our hands anymore, but we've still got a mathematical chance if others slip up. How do you see that going forward after tonight?
I see what I've just said to them in there is how they react. The ones that do want to stay here and earn another contract, the ones that want to leave, it's up to them how they react. Because what I'll do, I have to put a team out there and I have to put my faith when they go over the white line to do their best. Now maybe I've said a few things in there that they don't like and they might not perform to their best because they think, well, sod him. If that's the case, Jim, I'll build again for next year. You know, because like I say, the last 2 months, and I've said it before to you, has opened my eyes a lot in football management. You know, and I haven't had it. I didn't have it last year. Maybe because we've all been in and around it this year. You know, but like I say, it's how they react. You know, do they react, like I said, do they react to me giving them a rollicking and telling some home truths that maybe some of them don't like? Or do they go in their shell and then I only find out when I pick the team and put them out on the pitch? That's all you can do. You know, I can't foresee the future. I can't foresee what they're going to do Saturday at 3 o'clock, whatever team I put out there. All I can do is hope, get some messages across to them, and if they take it on board, they do. If they've got their own agendas and do their own thing, not a lot I can do apart from make some substitutions.
Well, obviously not a good evening, but we look forward to Saturday. I think it's going to be quite an interesting afternoon, one way or another. May not be a good end or not, but we'll have to wait and see.
You say that it's not been a good evening, it's been a terrible evening. To collapse in a cup final is embarrassing. It is. You've got to have more than that about you. These fans have travelled in there, like you say, a few hundred. They've had a few hundred, and they stayed with us, you know. I even heard a shout of we're going to win 9-7 or 8-7, whatever it is, you know. Bit of banter in there, but like I say, they were good, but we weren't. You know, I'm talking about our fans. Our fans were good, but we weren't. Some fans won't want to hear that because they want a trophy, they want to win matches. But I can't do no more than tell them that I apologise for that out there. I'd like if some of the players were brave enough. I know Matt does an interview with one of them maybe, but how many of them will come out and apologise and say sorry? A couple, you know, otherwise the others just feel sorry for themselves. And people might think it's stinging what I'm saying now with 3 games to go, but if all honesty, Jim, I want to be successful. I work hard to be successful, and at the moment, what's going out on that pitch isn't being successful, and I have to take some of the blame for that. But then, like I say, when I start opening up and seeing a few things that are going on, and they don't realise how many contacts me and Barry have got in the game in terms of managers speak. And like I say, there's a few things going on behind the scenes that I won't bring to the forefront unless I have to. And when I do, it'll open some people's eyes. If I do. I don't want to, if I do, but I won't put up with that ever again.
Okay, well look, thanks for your interview, thanks for your honesty as ever. You're very forthright, you leave nothing unsaid, and we're grateful for that, and I'm sure the supporters at least will take some comfort from your honesty that you've shown this evening after a difficult evening. We do look forward to Saturday. It's going to be fascinating, the next 3 games, to see where we end up and where we are at 5 o'clock next Saturday against Worthing.
Like I say, the players that go on the pitch, they're the only ones that can do it.
Sure.
They can only show the desire and determination.
Absolutely. Thanks, Steve.
Hard to really sum up that game, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think kamikaze is probably a word that sums it up. None of us boys went out there and performed. It was just, lackluster from everyone. I don't think there's no excuse. Can't blame the pitch, can't blame anything. It's just us. We went out there and we messed up. We didn't play well enough to get anything out of the game, let alone win it.
Overawed a bit by some of the players they have in their squad, or is that not a factor?
Not. It's Ryman Premier at the end of the day. Everyone's playing at this level for a reason. Yeah, okay, there might be a couple of players they've got there that should be playing higher, but overall, I think that's just a rubbish excuse that no one can use.
What's been said after the game?
A lot. And I think everything that was said in the change room was deserved, and that's all that I'll go into.
Right.
Yeah.
You mean by the manager or amongst you?
Yeah. We let him down today. We let him down. We let all the staff down. There's like I say, there's no excuse for what happened today.
What point in the game did you realise it was gone?
You know. Ultimately they scored 4 goals in the first half. If they could do it, we could do it. You don't throw away the game after the first half because it's a 2-half game. We're 45 minutes in. But yeah, given what happened in sort of like the first 15-20 minutes of the first half, it's a very steep hill to climb from there.
Yeah. 3 games to go this season. Can you pick yourselves up? Only 3 games now. Only 3 days now till the next game, and you've probably got to win all 3 now to threaten the playoffs.
Yeah, massively. We have to not only pull together, but we have to look at ourselves individually as well. And it's down to every single one of us to now perform to a level that's acceptable, because that wasn't acceptable today. We have to perform to an acceptable level, and it might take a couple of days to kind of get your head around what happened tonight. You might get over it by this evening, but I personally won't. But yeah, so it's a new game. We have to go in with a new lease of life, and like I say, that if anything, we should have extra determination to go and get the 3 points there.
Yeah, let's hope so. On a happier note, you're running the marathon in a couple of weeks' time, aren't you?
Yeah.
How are preparations going?
Yeah, not too bad. They're going all right. Obviously, with a little injury that I picked up last couple of weeks or so, it's affected the training a little bit, but it is what it is. Like ultimately my priority is football. The marathon is a secondary thing. I'll be doing everything in my power to make sure that I'm running it, and I will 100% be running it, whether it be walk, whatever. But yeah, football is the priority. I'm not using that as an excuse. I know it might be easy to say after performance today, you might think I've got my mind elsewhere. Not like that at all. Fully focused on football as a priority.
Yeah, no, fully believe that. Yeah. In terms of sort of sponsorship and stuff as well, how's that going?
Yeah. Obviously need as much as I possibly can. I think there should be another bucket going around on Saturday, and then the final game of the season as well. I just obviously anyone brings any spare change to the game or anything like that, I think that the bucket should go round on Saturday. So during the game, It's like I say, if you've got any spare change, just chuck it in. But yeah, otherwise, no. The actual what's raised so far is I'm happy with, but obviously I could do is getting as much as possible.
What sort of figure you got so far?
I think I'm on about 1,600 so far.
Okay. What's your target?
My target originally was 1,000 because because I got in through the ballots, I didn't necessarily have to run for a charity, but it was at my discretion to run for both Cry and Make-A-Wish. So it's just a case of just raising as much money for that as possible.
Just explain why you chose those two.
Well, obviously, it's evident as to why I chose Cry. It's quite close to sort of everyone at the club, myself personally as well, obviously being involved in what happened that day. And Make-A-Wish is just kind of, it's a charity that I've kind of always paid a lot of interest to. I think what they do there is quite remarkable. Sort of terminally ill kids just making their dreams come true and things like that. So yeah, it's just it's one of those things.
Okay. Well, let's forget about today and look forward to Saturday.
Yeah. Cheers. Thank you very much.